Yes, Soulma.
Okay,
Hi,
I think you're online now. Is your live?
Yes, we are. It says it's
Yep,
streaming
you're live now.
so I'm going to imagine that we are live.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks.
So hi everyone, welcome to another session put on kindly by Inspiring Indian Women. And today we are going to be speaking with the lovely Dr. ARTI JANGRA. I hope I said that correctly. I'm so bad with names. I've already had the pleasure of having a little chit chat with her and just getting to know her a little bit. And we've definitely got a very insightful and I think exciting session ahead. Just in my little chat I've had with ARTI, I've really kind of thought, oh, I definitely want to know more about this. So please do stay with us and hear what she has to say. We'll be looking at two, I guess, companies that she set up, one being KISMATKARMA and the other one being Kismat TV. And Kismat TV probably being the most new and exciting project for ARTI. So she'll talk to us more about that. She'll also give us some tips and hints about kind of setting up your own projects and business. So that's going to be amazing. You'll have something to learn from that. And then obviously we'll find out more about her journey too, challenges and things like that. And also she has a special call out to make. So there's opportunities for everyone who will be watching this. And some really fantastic opportunities to work on Kismat TV with her and promote your own self and your own products or company. But again, ARTI will tell us more about this. So do stay with us. So welcome, ARTI. How are you?
Thank you so much for such a sweet introduction, Soulma. I really appreciate it. I'm really excited to be here on this platform and connect with so many of you. So thank you for this really amazing opportunity. And yeah, thank you for being such a lovely host as well. So thank you for inviting me here.
Our pleasure. Honestly, it's really nice to have different people who come to this, who are willing to tell us about their journeys and their products. And, you know, with the aim of kind of inspiring women, that's the whole point. So, you know, it's really nice to hear from such, I don't know, courageous, strong, lovely people, honestly. So it's just such a pleasure. So, ARTI, tell us more about your, should we start with KISMATKARMA first? Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
Yeah, I think it's probably the best place to start because KISMATKARMA was a business that I initially started with. It's a decade old now, so we've made the big 1-0, so we've got to the 10 years in August last
Congratulations.
year.
10 years is a big milestone.
It's a big milestone. I mean, to be honest, when I launched that business, when I first started it, I was told it wouldn't last 3 months.
Wow.
There's so many like pessimistic people in the world, and I think I've met maybe 99% of them. So it's been a very extraordinary journey. And basically, I used to do with KISMATKARMA. Basically, what we do is we do spiritual readings, energy work, energy healing. It's mainly to focus on like the mind, body, and soul. So it's mainly to do with spirituality, to do with paranormal investigations. And people want to foresee, right, want to see, you know, what's in their future, what the future holds for them. So you can imagine the past 2 years have been exceptionally busy because a lot of people were unsure and, you know, they were sick and tired of the uncertainty that was going around them. So they just wanted to know, you know, when do we launch our products? When do we go forward? When can we start X, Y, Z? So those are the sort of questions that people bring to me when I do their readings for them or check their energy for them. And it's been an amazing journey, loads of ups and downs in the journey. But when I started the business, even at that time, I just had in my mind, I thought I put so much effort and energy into working for others. It would be amazing to do something for myself. And I was always told that after, you know, like psychic readings, spiritual work or spiritual energy work, you can never ever make a full-time living out of it. You'll never earn enough. You'll always have to do something else. And, you know, one of the biggest kind of setbacks that I had was that people used to always compare my work to, say, somebody sitting on a Brighton pier charging £5 a reading. And, you know, they used to think, oh, but the so-and-so does it for free, or that person does it for £5, or da-da-da. And I was lucky and fortunate enough to have celebrity clients, and my study, my education was all to do with spirituality. So for me, I had invested so much energy into this, and I had developed myself so much that, you know, my clientele is a very niche clientele. So, you know, touch wood, with God's blessings, we have, you know, quite a lot of VIPs, VVIPs on board. And, you know, they kept me going forward. And every time I thought, okay, maybe I need to take a step back now, and maybe, you know, I need to start focusing on other things now, because I had a lot of distractions in my mind, one of which was media. So I was thinking that maybe I should, like, you know, cut back on this and maybe focus on media, do something else instead, or maybe work for somebody else, because it's less of a headache. When you have your own business, you have to kind of worry about everything, you know, all the legal aspects of everything, the taxes, the accounts and overheads, and there's so much to juggle. And you have to rely on so many people. So, you know, you're reliant on your staff, your admin team, your bookings team, your managers, your accountants, and it's not a one-man army. So if anybody's out there, you know, thinking about starting a business or doing a business, obviously when you start off solo by yourself, and you try to kind of slowly grow, and you know, gradually grow. But one thing I would say to you is that even if you are gradually growing, be very, very careful with the people that you choose to keep in your team, or the people that you choose to allow in your team and share your baby with, because you need to have the right team with you. You know, you need to have the right people with you, the people with the same vision, with the same passion, and then you can really grow, you can really move forward. So that business has, you know, grown, and in a very strong way. It's become international very, very quickly, and, you know, touch wood, with God's blessings, it's a major success. Now, I was always doing my shows on TV. So even before I changed the name of my show to Kismat TV, first it used to be called Cards of Destiny. Before then, the very first show that I done on TV was called Astro Cards. So a lot of people must be thinking, oh my God, I remember that show. But that was when I literally just stepped out of uni, just finished uni, and I was on TV straight away. And I started off working for a channel called Vectone, which had a very, I would say it was only around for about a year or so. Then they closed down. But they had 5 different channels, and I used to work on all different channels, just doing my cards and my readings for everybody. But I think that was my first taste of media, first taste of television that I had. And then stayed with the Vectone for a while, then they closed down. And then I was recommended by one of the bosses of Vectone that ARTI, you need to, you know, why don't you join MATV? So then I joined another channel, and I was there for a good 15, 16 years. And then the only thing is, I suppose, when you're working for somebody, you're just a number. You know, when you have your own, like if you're working for yourself, you have your own business, then you've got full control over everything. And when you're working for somebody, it's like sometimes you can put your blood, sweat, tears, everything into it, and at the end of the day, you're just a number. So things didn't work out, and I had to, you know, I had to step away from the channel. And at the moment I stepped away from them, I never thought in my wildest dreams that, you know, I'll set up my own channel or I'll do my own thing. Never. You know, I just thought, you know, maybe I'll start my shows on a different channel and I'll just take things forward from there. But I think God had different plans for me. The universe had different plans for me. A lot of people connected with me and said, Arti, you know, we're not seeing you on TV anymore. Is everything okay? And I said, yeah. I'll go. I'm just, you know, I'm just going to wait a while and then see if I'll go on another channel, or maybe start doing my show over there. And so many people, so many of my clients, so many of my well-wishers, they said to me, Arti ji, you've got so much experience and so much talent. Why don't you just have your own channel? And I just thought, you know what, it is doable. And I'm one of those people, like when I have an opportunity, I grab it. And I just thought, you know, I'm going to take this leap of faith. I've got a really good feeling, a really good vibe about it. checked my energies, and I thought, yeah, this is something that I can do my work. So if I'm going to do my show, why not do it on my own channel? So I think that was day one. And obviously Kismat Karma, when I was even thinking about the name Kismat Karma, I thought, what shall I call my business? Because it's more to do with like destiny and how people create their own destiny via spirituality. So then I just thought, okay, you're creating your Kismat, which is your destiny, with your karma, which are your actions. So the name Kismat Karma made sense. And then for Kismat TV, I just thought this has been a big blessing for me, because if I didn't have that setback with the previous channel I was with, I wouldn't have had, I wouldn't have felt the need to even get up, brush myself off, and move forward, or even fly higher or grow further. And it just made me realize that actually, you know what, I'm bigger than this, I'm better than this, and I'm going to grow. And that was the time when I realized, I'm growing new wings now, like it's time for me to fly. So I thought, why not Kismat TV? Why any other name? Why not call it Kismat TV? Because it's literally my Kismat that God has created, and an opportunity that's come my way. So I would say, some really good friends on my side, who said to me, RPG, do it, don't worry about anything. We'll make sure that from our side, whatever we can do to support you, we'll do our best, and we'll guide you as best as we can. So that's how I would say that journey began, how that journey started. Now, the thing with Kismat Karma is that Kismat Karma is a very, I would say, a unique way of working, because if you say normally go to, say, a psychic or an astrologer, they'll probably check your birth chart, your Gen number 3, or they'll check your hands, or they'll do a face reading. And then they'll tell you about your life, or they'll read your cards, or they'll read like the typical tarot cards and things like that. But what we do at Kismat Karma is that we do spiritual energy readings, and they're registered as well. So if you, I don't know if you searched Kismat Karma, you'll notice the R sign behind it, that it's registered. Even the spiritual energy readings, they're registered readings, because that's a unique type of a reading which I developed, designed, and engineered by myself. Because
wow, so it's a trademark. So you've trademarked that almost. You've created that. Yeah.
I've created that.
So I wanted to ask, because I'll forget, and I'm really interested. So you obviously said that was registered, and you created that. So and also you mentioned about the fact that you qualified in psychic readings or spiritual healing or something like that. Tell us a little bit more about your qualification side, and how you came up with this unique type of reading, and what exactly, how is that? I know you've kind of brushed over it, but how is that reading different to, like you said, the hand or the card, or the things that we all know about, that people understand, and we're like, oh, that's what that is. So tell us a little bit more about that. It's quite interesting.
Basically, if you go to any person or any place for a reading, then they'll check, say, either they'll check your cards, and they'll say, okay, you've got XYZ tarot cards, or you've got these cards. And normally if you buy a pack of cards, say from Amazon or any bookshop, then it comes with it comes with a small book, and it says, oh, this card means this, that card means that, and then each card has its own meaning. So if you draw that card the right side up, it means X, and if you draw it the wrong way around, it means Y. So it will tell you like the basics of it. So if I would say, if you were to read like a generic pack of cards, then it would be very random, and it wouldn't be very accurate. And the reason why it wouldn't be very accurate is because it's like playing a game. You're just drawing cards, and it's like you might as well just throw dice or toss a coin, because it will have the same sort of an impact, and you can say, okay, if I get heads, then the answer is yes, or if I get tails, then the answer is no. But I truly believed all the time that deep inside your heart, you know what the answer is. And deep inside your heart, if you really ask yourself, what do I want to do, or what is it that I want to achieve, you know whether you're going to put in the willpower, the effort that's required to achieve that or not. So So, you know, we have our own willpower, we have our own focus. And, you know, because everybody will say, okay, you know what, I really want to lose weight and this is what I really want to do. But then you see that cake and you think, you know what, I'll start tomorrow. And then you kind of like push it forward a bit. So you really need that willpower, you need that determination to make things happen. You know, so it's
absolutely,
not, that comes from within. Nobody gives you that power. Nobody else will say to you, oh, do this, do that. They can, you know, shout at you, they can scream at you. Like sometimes parents tell the children, study, 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 or your teachers can tell you to study or to, you know, practice. But it's up to the individual, like, do they really want to? You know, do they want to move forward? So the same way, when we have our, say, reading done, or if we have our energy checked by anybody, they'll check our horoscope and they'll say, oh, this planet, and because of that planet, this is what the problem is. And now you have to do X, Y, Z, Upa. Now, when pundits or astrologers give you remedies for your planets, say for your horoscope, your birth chart, your Janam Patri, then they will give you the planets, they will give you the remedies out of something called the Lal Kitab. In the Hindu Vedas, there is a section called the Jyotish Shastra, and in the Jyotish Shastra, it tells you like which planet is linked to which effects and how it can affect human beings in different ways. For example, you know, like when there's a full moon, or when there's a super moon, or when there's a new moon, how it affects the human body, because there's 70% water, so it will have some sort of an effect on us. But the same way, other planets will have some sort of an effect on us as well. But in the Jyotish Shastra, it will tell you which types of effects certain planets will have, but it doesn't give you any remedies. The remedies that it will give you is, I'll just give you like a basic remedy, would be something like, in order to appease this planet, recite this mantra 125,000 times. That's what the remedy will be. Now, nobody's got time in today's day and age to recite a mantra that many times, you know, so nobody's going to do those remedies. All the remedies will be like, seek blessings of your parents, make sure that you seek blessings from the daughters in your house, things like that. But it wouldn't be wear this gemstone, wear that ring. All of those remedies that these astrologers give, they're from a place called the Lal Kitab. Now, the Lal Kitab was a book which was originally written in Persian, and it's got nothing to do with the Vedas at all. So it's like basically like a book of shadows or a book of spells. So what it's got in there are what they call upaye, which they call remedies, is like different types of tune, totke, you know, like a book of shadows or a book of spells, where you're trying to manipulate energies and trying to make them work, become favorable to you. You know, so that's where you have to be very, very careful. That's why sometimes they backfire, they have very negative effects, because you're playing with a dark energy. Then you're trying to manipulate energies which you shouldn't really be messing around with, because you don't know what you're dealing with. I mean, the things that I've seen from, you know, and heard from my clients, where they've been asked to put things in the river, they've been asked to go and get soil from a graveyard, put it in their house.
Yes, I've heard of things like that as well.
And it's like, why are you doing, you know, putting negativity on yourself? Why are you bringing negativity into your home? You know, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, I think, like, why are you doing this? But obviously, because they trust that person blindly, if they say hop on one leg, they'll hop on one leg. If they say every morning wake up and pull your ears, they'll wake up every morning and pull their ears.
Technically, the people who are coming for that kind of I guess guidance, let's call it, usually it's because they're in a vulnerable position in the first place. So when you're in a vulnerable position, sometimes desperate position, or stuck, you will be willing to try things, like you said, especially where you think, I can do that, I'm going to go do that, it's going to change my life, all I need to do is this, and you're going to do it. And you know, so I completely understand, because those clients are already, you know, vulnerable.
So it makes it very tough for them. But then what I understood, because I checked this deeply, and when I first started off, I used to read cards, like tarot cards for people, and I thought, these are very generic. My heart felt as if these are very generic and they're not very accurate. And I'm thinking, why am I not getting very accurate readings? I want to have, they should be spot on every time. Why are they not spot on every time? Why is it hit and miss? Then I done my own research into it, and I researched into it further. And what I found was that we have the capability, and not just looking at the Asian culture, the Vedic culture, but looking at all different cultures, that as human beings, we have the capability, the ability to change our destiny at any moment in time. We have the power to do this. You can call it the law of attraction, you can call it the law of the universe, you can call it the universal energies, you can call it to getting in touch with your higher self. But we all have the power to make decisions, to break decisions, and we basically have the power to guide our own life in the direction that where we want to take it. And it's just about realizing that. When we realize that, then we don't need to seek help from others. So that's what I tend to do with my clients. I make sure that they are able to guide themselves, so they never ever have to go to anybody for guidance or help again. Even if they connect with me, it's only to say, oh, we want to keep in touch with you, just to say thank you, or that we're thinking of you, we want to send you a card, our daughter's getting married now. That's how they want to get in touch. But you don't want that person to keep coming to you again and again, because ideally you want them to be able to stand up on their own feet and eliminate all of their problems by themselves. And we can do that. And
it's that realization.
Yeah,
it's that once you've got that.
Yeah,
sorry, I'm jumping in with you, because I'm agreeing with you.
I'm glad you understand. And the other thing is that with our energy, because we are self-sufficient, and with this, I'm not selling a ring, I'm not telling anybody to wear a gold chain, and I'm not selling a crystal, or I'm not selling a special magical yantra or something to say that, oh, you know what, this magic thing, like if you use this phone, then all your problems will vanish. I'm not selling that snake oil, so to say. So a lot of people, like even other astrologers, at first they didn't used to like me, because they're like, Arti, what are you doing? You're going to make us shut shop because of the way that you work. And I'm like, no, I'm just telling people the truth. And it's not about making money. It's about, like, the universe will bring you money when it's going to come to you. It will come to you anyhow. But it's about telling people the truth and working with integrity. So that's why I focused on it more. And touch wood, SOULma, one thing that happened with me was that even my VIP clients, VVIP clients, I never ever once went out to them or reached out to them and told them that, oh, you know what, this is what I do. They came to me. They said to me, RTG, can you check this? And these are people who I considered as like celebrities and stars. And I'm thinking, when the first time it happened, I'm not going to say any names, because we promise our clients 100% confidentiality.
Absolutely, it's confidentiality. Yeah, unless if they're willing and they give you testimonial themselves. Absolutely not. No worries.
But there was this one male actor, and I went to see him, and then he said to me, "Oh, you're RTG, and you do that." And I said, "Yeah." I thought, I didn't know you watched like TV in Britain. Like, I didn't realize. But I had my shows on YouTube as well at that time. And he goes, RTG, can you please tell me something about me? And I was thinking, oh my God, like you're like a superstar, and I'm a nobody, and you're asking me. And I remember feeling that a very strange feeling, and I was so excited and so happy at the same time. So I giggled, and I checked his energy for him, and then I just thought, and he goes, "You're spot on. Like everything that you've said is 100% spot on." And then he said to me, he goes, "Is it okay if I take down your number?" He goes, "Look, I'm not." He goes, I'm married and da da da." And he goes, "I'm not like that." And he goes, "I just want to." He goes, "Is it okay so that I can, maybe catch up with you in a few months' time?" I said, "Sure, why not?" And he goes, "Look," I'm not a freeloader, so I will pay you for your services." And I said, no, I've just come to, like, basically, I went to interview him. So I said, I just came to interview you. I didn't come here to do a reading, so you don't owe me anything. And he said, no, I insist. And he said, take one thing from me. If if there's only one lesson that you can learn from me, then learn this, that you need to value your work, otherwise nobody will value you. So you
True.
need to value
Very
yourself.
true.
And you know what? That stuck with me. And I just thought, you know what? I do need to value my work. And he said, he goes, look, I act for a living. He goes, if I acted in every movie for free because somebody's my friend, he goes, I'd make no money. I wouldn't be here today. And he goes, I'm just saying to you, you need to, in life, there are things that, you know, your necessities and whatnot. And he goes, you're using your energy the same way I use my energy to act. You're using your energy to do this. And he goes, so, you know, you should. And I thought, okay, you know what, he is right. So it kind of added to the thing that, okay, you know what, I need to do something with KISMATKARMA. So you can imagine how many years ago this was, many years ago. So yes, so KISMATKARMA started. So the way that it's unique is that it basically is a spiritual energy reading. So it's checking the person's own aura, their own spiritual energy, and seeing not just the karma that's there in this life, but also their past life karma and where they are right now in their karmic cycles, to find out exactly what's disturbing them, because it could be anything. Normally, you know, a typical astrologer or even a card reader, they would rule out mental health, they would rule out family health issues, they would rule out you know, other problems like depression and whatnot. But with the spiritual energy reading, you can pick up on all of that. You can see the energy as a whole. You can see their family systems, their family patterns. That's why we've got an in-house counselor. We've got therapists working with us. We've got, you know, hotline numbers which our staff give out to people, because the amount of
really
time
good.
we have had people who call us and say, you know, I need to speak to Dr. Arti right now, otherwise I'm going to do XYZ to myself. So we say, you know what, speak to this person, because you need to speak to a therapist straight away. And sometimes people come through to me and they say, like, Arti ji, we need a reading with you. I'm suffering with XYZ. And I think, have you had have you spoken to a therapist? Like, you for this, you need this kind of professional help. And you know, it's an amazing journey, but you'd be, you know, I remember there was this one case that I know I talk so much, but it's really important, you know, for our listeners to listen to this as well. But there was this one lady, she came to me, she didn't speak very good English. She was originally from Pakistan. And she came to me and she left her son in the waiting area, and she wanted to ask about her son. And as soon as she sat down in front of me for the reading, she just started crying. And, you know, I said to her, is everything okay? What's wrong? And she goes, no, I want to ask about my son. I said, okay, don't worry. Let me check his energy and I'll let you know. And I said, well, what do you want to know about him? And I go, his health is suffering. I can see that. And she said, yeah, someone's done something to him. I've asked so many people, but nobody's got the cure. I've spent thousands of pounds. I've spent thousands of pounds back home. I've spent thousands over here. And she goes, there's been no cure. No one's helping him. And I go, what do you mean, like something bad has happened? She goes, someone's done black magic on him, sent negative energy his way. And I said, no, I'm not picking that up at all. And she said, no, RTG, check again. It's definitely that, because he's, he doesn't speak properly. He gets irritated very quickly. And I go, no. What I'm picking up is that there is a health issue. There's a health issue over there. And I said, did you take him to the doctors? Did you take him to the GP? And I said, did they give any medication or did they recommend something? And she goes, no, he didn't say anything. He didn't say much. And I said, is it okay if I speak to your GP? You know, because something's definitely not right here. And I could see the son's energy, and I saw the son, and although I'm not a medical doctor, I could see that he's autistic. You know, because I've met other autistic children before as well. Like, a lot of my clients do have autistic children, and a lot of my friends do have autistic children. Something like, he's autistic. There's nothing negative. He's autistic. That's it. You know, and then I spoke to the secretary, or her doctor's secretary, and I said, look, she's given me permission to speak to you. Obviously, I'm not allowed to speak to her GP, but if he's been diagnosed with something, is there any way that you could give her the leaflets or the paperwork in Urdu? Because she can read Urdu, but she can't read English, and she doesn't understand it. So they then posted her the leaflets and all the information about autism and what it is in her language. And then we gave her some information. And then she just had, she was relieved and she was crying at the same time, because she was so shocked that so many people looted her, literally saying someone's done this, that's why he's like that. And it's like, don't take people's lives, you know.
Yeah,
That's what
I think it's really commendable that, you know, linked with what you do, you recognize mental health conditions as well as physical conditions, like you said, like learning difficulties, autism, things like that. And like you said, maybe sometimes as well, older generation don't necessarily understand that, like, you know, they don't understand what is autism, or that means there's something wrong and blah blah blah, and that means they're this, or they've got a disability, which means their life is over, and it's actually not the case. It's just learning to live with that and find the strength. So I think it's really admirable and commendable that you actually take those things seriously, and you're able to recognize it and not fleece the person, I guess, and be like, you know what, actually we do have people who can support, we've got therapists, and you know, the example you've given is great, because it shows that you've gone out of your way to do something that necessarily isn't what you're paid to do, like the GP stuff, asking for it in order. You technically did your job when you said, hey, I think it's autism. You could have left it at that, but you kind of went out of your way to really support and see that through. So I think that's really commendable, and it's a really nice, inspiring story. And I think obviously it really gives us a picture of the kind of person you are and what your values are, and what, I guess, your organization is all about, your KISMATKARMA, you know, that is what it's about, and you're genuine and you're authentic in what you do. So I think, you know, I'm picking that up from you. So I can see that in the examples you're giving. So yeah, that is really commendable.
Because it is, you know, I believe in karma a lot. I believe what goes around comes around. You send out positive energy, you get positive energy back. You send out negativity, that's what you'll get back. You know, so it's like, if you can't do anything good to somebody, then don't do anything bad either. Like, already she's so dukkhy already. She's so upset already. She's going through so much already. It's like, why would you rob a person blind, you know, just like that? It hurts me, you know, to think that there are people out there who would exploit that. And
I guess I think it depends. I think it's a mixture, isn't it? I think it's sometimes it's to do with money, and then other times it's just to do with, like you said, they're just doing the card reading and it's not accurate, or that lack of understanding around physical or mental health. And so therefore they put it down to, like you said, there's no explanation, it's black magic, or it's this or it's that. So sometimes it's both. It could be money, it could also be that lack of knowledge. So I know you'd mentioned that, you know, you started all this when you finished university, and I know you've got a doctor in your title. So what have you studied and what have you qualified in?
Well, I done my diploma. Well, I done my degree in psychosocial studies, which is psychology and sociology. Then I done a diploma in hypnotherapy because I wanted to know how the mind works. So then I done my master's in women's spirituality and holistic healing. And
amazing.
you know, I worked in women's spirituality, focused mainly on that. So that was what my doctorate was in as well. But the main thing is that, you know, like, you learn so much from actual life experience as well. You know, like, I've done courses in Reiki. I'm a Reiki master. I teach Reiki to people as well. And I teach people spirituality as well, but my version of spirituality through the spiritual energy reading method. And because I really feel that kind of it literally, you know, I would say hits it the nail on its head, and the way that you're able to predict something, and the way that you're able to see something is spot on. So that is something which I value very highly, because that was something that used to always bother me, and I'm thinking, why is it not spot on? Why is it not accurate? Because this person hasn't got the capability, or this person hasn't got the willpower to see it through. So, you know, sometimes you see a mountain and you think, okay, if I want to cross that mountain, I need to start climbing today. And then you look at it and you think, I'll start climbing it tomorrow. And then it's your own general willpower as well that you shouldn't give up. And sometimes you get distracted along the path because you think you're about to climb the mountain, but then there's a sweet shop on the side, or, you know, your family come over for dinner and you think, okay, you know what, let me deal with that first, and then I'll do this next week. Your turn never comes. And it's like, in life, I believe this is what I tell my clients: you can achieve anything that you want. You name it, it can be yours. But you need to have the determination, you need to have the willpower, and you can make it happen.
Yeah, I think usually when people don't, well, definitely in my case, I know this is it usually is fear or confidence or what ifs that hold you back. So you go, well, what if I do that and then this doesn't happen? Or what if I take that risk? Or no, I wouldn't be good at that. There's people who are better. And you start to that sort of comparison. I think you see that in human nature. And I like what you said at the beginning of this interview, where you were like, do you know what? One thing I'm going to say to you, surround yourself with the right people. I think that is key, because there's always going to be people who tell you, you can't do it, you're not good at it, or there's too many people, it's saturated market, yada, yada, da, 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 da. And it does get into you, right? It does make you think, oh God, you know, even they think I can't do it, or blah, blah, blah. But actually, when you've got the right people who says, no, do you know what? Yeah, you are really good at this, or you are amazing, or you are unique, and we might not know how to help you, but we're supporting you. So it's having that the right people in your life. And it's not to say that you shut those other people off. It's just knowing to say, well, I won't include them in this little bit of my journey. I'll kind of keep very quiet about what I'm doing there, because I don't want that negativity or commenting on it. They're still my friend, I still love them, they're still my family, they still, you know, but I just don't need to share what's going on till I kind of have that confidence or that success. So I completely agree with you. I think you've got to have it, like you said, you're talking about energies. I know I've noticed that if you have people around you who have that positive energy, it's amazing, because all of a sudden you feel it and you feel like, yeah, I can achieve anything. And when you are around people who have negative energies constantly, it's difficult. And again, there's a difference between someone being negative and someone who maybe has mental health, you know, so they're going through something and they're going through a downtime, and compared to someone who's negative, there's a complete difference, you know. Someone could be feeling down and depressed, but still able to cheer you on or support you, or explain to you, this is how I'm feeling and I don't have much to give right now. But being negative is a complete different thing. That's someone telling you why you're wasting your time, or what is, you know. So that struck a chord with me, and I really you know, I think that's really important in life in general with women, whether or not you want to go into a business. But I think specifically, especially in your case, I think, you know, that's the support.
Because, you know, it's like with toxic people like that, it really does kind of push you back. And, you know, on this note, I'd like to kind of move on to, say, Kismat TV now, because, you know, as I mentioned earlier, like when I first started Kismat TV, everybody was like, oh yeah, RPG, you should do it, we're with you, da da da. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to do this. And I had a really good feeling about it. And I could see it growing really rapidly, really fast. And I had a really good feeling about it. So I took that leap of faith and I done it. And as soon as I took that step, every single person I knew from the media industry for the last 15, 16 odd years, not one contacted me. Not one person called me, messaged me, texted me, WhatsApped me to congratulate me or to even ask me if I'm alive or not. People from the media industry who owed me large sums of money and knew that I would need it to invest into this new business, because it's something is a hungry business, I would say. It eats a lot of money before it gives you anything. So even with that, they just completely went like, I was stealth mode on me, and literally everybody vanished. So I found myself setting up and starting this business with the people who said to me, oh yeah, do this, we're going to be with you, and no one's there, not even for moral support. No, absolutely no one.
That's tough. Yeah.
I was a bit kind of taken back, and I thought, hang on a minute, like, well, what's going on over here? Where are these people hiding? Like, where have they vanished to? And I thought, don't worry, God's with me. That's what I just thought in my heart. And I thought, I had a really good feeling about this, and I know this is going to work, and I'm going to make it work. So I thought, who needs these people anyway? I need professionals. I don't need, like, you know, any random people. So I got myself a really good, you know, legal team who know all about media, copyright laws, all the other legal formalities that I need to do, contracts and whatnot. So I've got myself a really good accounts team. I've got myself a really good media team, and, you know, I hired the right people. You know, I've got hold of the right people. And I just thought, you don't need fake friends, but at least in a good, I will still take it as a blessing what happened, because now I know who my real friends are, and now I know who my fake friends are.
Yeah,
you know, the people that I've known for years, the people that I reached out to saying, look, I'm going to be starting a new channel, any advice, any
help,
guidance,
any contacts, tips. Yeah,
I wasn't even asking for help. I was saying any guidance, any advice would be helpful.
Yeah.
Nothing, absolutely nothing. You know, and it was not even now, like or the social media pages have grown like crazy. I didn't even realize how quickly they would go. I mean, the Kismat TV page, we were well above 50,000 likes and followers, and we've just started the channel like literally not even 7 months ago. It's just, you know, and
yeah, I went straight on into Instagram and followed you, and I was like, oh, she's got loads of followers, and I followed
Instagram
you.
Instagram is growing steadily as well. And I'm thinking, oh my god, I to be honest, I knew we were going to grow. I had every faith, and I've still got faith that it's going to become even bigger. But I just didn't realize it was going to happen that fast. I had no idea. And this is all God's doing. But, you know, then at that moment, like when I realized, okay, hang on a minute, these people have backed off. No one's calling me. No one's, speaking to me. No one's messaging me. It's almost like you could just tell there's too many toxic people there, and they're not happy that I'm moving forward.
Of course, yeah.
So, and I just thought, okay, you know what, Arti, don't focus on the negative, don't focus on the toxic people. Instead, just focus on what you've got, what you've got in front of you. This is your journey, and this is what you want to achieve, and this is what you want to do. And now, certain, I would say, good people are connecting with me. So certain positive people are connecting with me. People that I had connected with, I would say, like, very, very recently, they are the ones who are saying, oh, Arti ji, you know what? Like, we want to make sure that people hear about this. Like, Rashmi ji done, like, she gave me an opportunity to come on this platform. And I always believe in paying it forward. So I always believe that, if you do good will come to you as well. So one thing that I do want to say is that, from this platform, is that we would like to offer an opportunity to our viewers today, especially any members from IIW, that want to have their own show, host their own show, promote their own products. Then make sure that you do get in touch with me. My email address is on the screen on that side somewhere. So it's admin@kismattv.com. And we'll make sure that from my side, as fast as we can, we'll make sure that we get your promotions going. One thing that Kismat TV does is that, the reason why we started it wasn't just to do only my show or just astrology shows on it. It's mainly for music and entertainment. And one thing that I noticed especially for the artists in the UK, was that for many, many years, like, they have been literally looted or robbed. They have to pay through their nose just to get a song on TV. There are certain channels that charge them £1,000 for just showing it a few times, and that's it. No extra publicity.
Yes, yeah.
I'm thinking, oh my God, like, they've spent so much money making the video, on training, on getting their voice right, getting the music producer, the video producer, everything together to make this amazing product. And now you're charging them an arm and a leg to put it. And normally, how long is a video? About 3 minutes, 4 minutes? That's the length of a song. So we're offering free promotion for all artists.
Wow, okay.
So that's one thing we're doing. So a lot of record labels are getting in touch with us. And if anybody wants to come on board or get in touch, if there are any people who feel that, I can sing, but I just don't have a record deal yet, or I can sing, but I don't know how to go about it, get in touch with us and we'll help you.
Yeah. What kind of talent are you looking to promote then? Are you looking to promote sort of singers or other sort of talent? What kind of talent are you looking at?
I mean, with IIW, we're looking at all different types of talent. So whether you want to have your own cookery show, whether you do exercise, yoga, meditation, we want to hear from you. If there are a lot of bloggers out there, a lot of people that already do some shows on, say, YouTube or Facebook. And if you want to have a higher platform or a bigger platform where people would tune in just to see you, then definitely do get in touch with us, because this will be a great way to help others. But mainly the show should include something where it's helping others. So say, for example, if I'm selling my own makeup brand, it's not really helping others. Whereas if I'm teaching others to cook, or others to read and write Hindi, or I'm teaching them to say, for example, our parents' generation, we're teaching them to speak in English, things like that. If we're teaching something, or if they're learning something from it, they're gaining something from it, then we definitely want to hear from you. So whether it's cookery, whether it's yoga, we definitely want to hear from you. Something that will help others. Maybe you've got arts and crafts skills and you want to show that, like how to make a cushion, how to sew a button, because these are I would say essential life skills. A lot of students get stuck and they think, I wish my mum was here who could help me do this.
Yeah,
right?
true.
So those are the people that we can that we can help. Even shows like this where we bring people's talent forward, it'll be amazing to broadcast on TV, because the main thing is to connect with people. And the best thing about Kismat TV is that it's international, it's worldwide. Anybody who has a smart TV can download it for free. If you've got Amazon Fire, if you've got Roku, you can download it for free. Just search Kismat TV and you can have it for free. So unlike a lot of satellite channels where they're only available in Europe, or they're only in certain countries, Kismat TV is not like that. Whatever you see on screen right now, everybody's watching it, from UK to Dubai to Australia, America, Canada, any country, you name it, they're watching the product or the same content. So that is something which is very unique and very amazing about us.
Yeah, that sounds really, really great. So this is a really, really fantastic opportunity for anyone listening in today. So I know for a fact that in this group alone, in Inspiring Indian Women group, that there's a lot of talent out there. I know I've seen it. I've seen people saying, yes, I can teach, I do Hindi classes, or, cookery, or all the things that Arti has mentioned. I know that exists within this group, as well as singers. I'm pretty sure, if there's someone out there who's listening who's not even part of IIW, but actually, you want to kind of, your record label, or you're a music producer, or you're a singer, or an upcoming artist, and, just reach out. What's the worst that's going to happen? OT is going to say, we can't support you with this because of X, Y, Z, or yes, we can support you. So right now, that opportunity, that window is open. So take up those opportunities, take up that window. You're here, you're listening for a reason. So I would encourage you to definitely reach out. As Arati has said, the email address is on her background screen. What we can also do is request Rashmi or someone from IIW, or even yourself, Arati, to just pop in the comments on the live Facebook stream afterwards. Just write down your details again. But yes, that would be really, really amazing. So at the moment with your Kismat TV, do you already have existing content on it? So there's already content on this TV.
I mean, there are we've got so many songs there, like so much music there, that we don't repeat one song like within 24 hours. So there's a lot of content. We've got our own shows that are going on at the moment as well. One show called Kismat Connection, where we do interviews. There's another show called Chamakte Sitare, where we speak with celebrities every week, different celebrities every week. There's Gal Baat with Jyoti as well, and she brings celebrities and community shows to us as well. There's the Gavin Mann show, which will be starting. We're going to start filming with that as soon as the lockdown rules ease a little bit more. So there's very big things happening. The next coming week, we've got some Bollywood celebrities coming on in Kismat Connection. So I'll be hosting that show. So it's I would say all systems are ready to go. All systems are moving forward. And touch with God's blessing is growing. Every morning we have a show called Meditate with Rishi. And it's an amazing show where you get to actually sit down, close your eyes and meditate, because sometimes in life it's so hard to take that time out for yourself. So it's nice to kind of have that guide with you, so you know that, okay, you know what, it's at 8 o'clock in the morning, I can do this before I go to work, or before I go and drop the children off to school. I've got time to quickly do this, and then I'll get on, and
Yeah.
and obviously, if there are any recommendations from anybody who's watching and they think, okay, you know what, we want to have a show about X, Y, Z, and we'd like to see more of this or more of something else, then just drop us an email, and we're all ears, because this channel is not just my channel, it's a community channel, and it's everyone's channel, and it's one that will bring, I would say, everybody together. There's a Hamad Zafar show as well, and he does a show from Pakistan, and he connects with so many, I would say, important people from all around the globe, people that have amazing life stories and amazing experiences which they share with others. So yeah, we're touch with God's blessings that we're moving forward in a positive way. But we'll still like to give this opportunity to definitely all of our viewers and listeners today as well, because I think everybody should have a chance to shine. And I'm one of those people that I believe there's enough sunshine for everyone. So, if I can give somebody a free opportunity to shine or free opportunity to do their show, I want them to shine as well.
And I think the great thing is, because of your background, like you said, you did 15 years of television. So this isn't something that you've just woken up and gone, oh, hey, I can do this. You've got that experience. You've got that inside knowledge. You know what works. You know what doesn't work.
Yeah.
Furthermore, you also know, okay, this is like how some staff were treated, or this is how I was treated, and this is not how I want to be. So you also have that experience. Because I think the other thing is that sometimes people say, I want to set something up. There's nothing wrong with that. But I think when you've got a background and you've got that experience in it, and then you set something up, it's a little bit more empowering, because kind of, okay, I guess what I'm trying to say is, when you have, it's a bit like, I don't know, if you want to open up a shop, if you worked in retail, you understand the ins and outs, the legalities, the business, how to treat staff, how to make that profit, how to run that business. If you've never worked in retail and you open a shop, it's not to say it can't be successful, but it's just, you don't have that background experience, and you do.
No,
I guess what I'm saying is that we know that
does help, and it's good to have the right, I would say, the right professionals with you as well on your team. So that's what I've got. Like, now some people are coming forward and they're recommending things, they're saying this, but I would never ever do something without putting it past my legal team first, by putting past my marketing team first, because they're the professionals, they're qualified in certain areas which I'm not qualified in, and they know what they're doing and how they're doing it. So one thing that I can say is that, like, in that sense, like, Touchwood, we're moving forward on, in the right direction. And the experience definitely does help, because there were so many times when I saw so many things that were happening the wrong way, and I was like, come on, we need to fix this, or we need to change this, we need to do this. It took me so many years just to get some women's shows up there. I remember this channel that I used to be working for, and it's just like, it's you push so hard and you think, oh, you just want it for the goodness of the channel, you just want it to be really nice, and you think you don't want to be seeing the same things on screen literally every single day, so you can just know, oh, this is going to be on now, that thing. So you want to see different things all the time. So that is something that we've done a lot of research on, and we actually done some market research, and it does cost money, but there's a desi way of doing things, that, oh, just do it and we'll see what happens. I didn't do that, because I just thought this is a huge investment for me. So I wanted to make sure that we do it right. So we've done the market research, we check properly, we see what does the audience want, what do they want, what do they need right now. And with the pandemic going on, the entertainment industry has changed. I mean, Zoom is being used more than ever now. Even if you see the biggest channels, they're all using this technology. So in every house there's a studio, in every home there's a potential host, there's a potential show that's waiting to come on Kismat TV.
Absolutely.
So,
I think the impact of COVID and just that virtual side of things, it's definitely opened up a lot more doors. I think that's, although yes, we're fed up of screen time and all those things, equally it's also opened up opportunities, and I think the world moving forward is going to be a balance. It's going to be a balance of sort of in-person type things, but equally I don't see the virtual stuff going away. I think people have realized that they're very big platforms, and not only can you kind of, I guess, promote or help others or whatever it is that you want to do, you can do it virtually nowadays. Equally, you can also soak things up and learn things for yourself, so I think people have realized that maybe the best way forward, definitely within the working world, is blended. But I think even in, like, whether it's the world of, like we say, typically if you wanted to teach cookery, I mean, unless if you were lucky enough to get on a TV show, if you were confident enough to set up a YouTube channel, but really none of us were really going onto YouTube channels to really check it. You'd have to kind of make a book or hold classes and charge people. And this has just opened up so much, promotion and platform and bringing to light what you do. You can do it through TikTok, through Reels, we've seen that increase. We've seen people making money from TikTok, or people kind of showing their skills just for a 30-second video. And then it opens up more platforms, so then it leads to people going, let me check their YouTube, or let me offer them a platform on our TV channel, or they're gaining sort of promotional work. So the world of virtual, I guess the virtual opportunities is really, I think, the way forward. So Kismat TV, I think, is definitely feels like it's the right time, 100%. I think you're starting this off, and that's probably why you've seen that growth quite quickly. You have a reputation behind you anyway. You've not just come onto this market out of nowhere. You have that reputation, and you're strong in your vision and your goals and your brand and what you want. And I think that's something, in my opinion, that needs to be key when you're setting something up. And if you're not, like you said, if you're not going to know your own worth, and you're not going to be sure in what you're delivering and what you're offering, then no one else is going to have that in you, So
you need to believe in yourself first. You need to believe in yourself first, in order to others, for others to believe in you, but believe in yourself first. I mean, another thing that we've already set up and we've started is Kismat Awards, because we're going to host our own awards as well. And the plan was to have like a big grand opening as soon as COVID ended, and call a few celebrities over and have a nice big grand opening, and then announce that we're going to have our award ceremony. But because of COVID, it's changed a lot of things. So, we didn't have like the big grand launch or opening of the channel as we would have liked to. But I think that you're absolutely right, SOULma, because online it's been crazy. Like the amount of respect, love, blessings that Kismat TV has received in such a short time. For me, it's like bigger than a dream come true, because I never ever imagined that our viewership for the channel alone it would grow so much. I never imagined that we would have such a warm welcome from so many people in so many different continents. And I'm just thinking, wow, these people actually want to watch the channel. They actually want to see what's going on, and they want to be a part of it. So it is for me, it is like history in the making, because it's a whole new type of platform where people are literally opening up their Kismat. So it's a brilliant opportunity. So definitely, if anybody wants to be a part of it, they want to join us in any way, you're most welcome. Literally, just drop us an email on admin@kismattv.com, and from our side, we'll support you. If you feel that you've got that media bug inside you and you want to be on screen, you want to be on TV, you've got a talent you feel you can share with the world, then why not? Why not just send us in what you're thinking, what your proposal is, what you plan to show, and if like legally we're allowed to, and if it passes our quality control, then why not? So
that's an absolutely amazing opportunity. So I really hope you get inundated with requests, but that is a really amazing opportunity. So it'll be exciting to see how this grows, and who ends up on your platform as such. I mean, that is a really, really good call out, and the fact that it's free, because like you said, a lot of people get fleeced, and so just don't hold back. Don't let your confidence hold you back. If you're thinking about it and you're like, shall I not, that means do it. If you're like, no, fair enough, for sure, but if you're like, shall I not, that means yes, you do it. So that's how I see it.
And there's no harm in trying. Like, you might think, okay, you know what, this is not for me, you might try it and then you might think this is not for me, but then at least you've not forked out, you know, from your own pocket and thought, oh my God, I spent so much and that was a waste of effort, time,
Yeah.
and money. But because it does take a lot, like it takes planning, you need to do, you know, your research in order to do your show, you need to make sure it's right, you know. So
Yeah.
it does take effort, like even with yourself, like, you know, when you're trying to interview someone or you're trying to do something, it just, you take out that time, you know, and you think, okay, you know what, I have to put my family to one side at the moment, I need to focus on this. And then, you know, it does take time. So it's not for everybody. It's people who are keen, who are dedicated, and I'll say people who have a bug for the media. But in particular, if anybody, we've got Kismat TV is doing our own record label as well. So very soon we'll be announcing new songs that we're going to be launching. Because of COVID, the filming had, I would say, been put on pause for a short while, but now it's going through the process at the moment. So yeah, even with our own record label, we are launching people, we are launching singers, we're launching tomorrow.
Amazing.
And it's all happening with the blessings of the divine universe. To be honest, like if I think, oh, Arti done this, who am I to do this? This is the universe in motion. And honestly, like she keeps giving me opportunities, and I just keep grabbing them with both hands.
You know what it is as well. Once you take opportunities and you're open to them, and those you keep doing things, the more you find that all of a sudden opportunities keep coming and doors keep coming, and your job is to recognize those, and your job is to say, actually, that is an opportunity, and I'm going to do it, or that is actually they're taking advantage, and I'm not going to do it. It's knowing that, but just being open. I think, you know, like when you open your mind to something, is what you said. Once you've kind of realized something, and you know, once you realize, I know what you want to call it, an awakening or it's definitely a realization. You know, they go on about things not happening in your comfort zone. So for you, you know, you were comfortable, you had this regular show that was going on, which meant regular income. Like you said, my life was my life, work was work, yada yada. You have that, you know, but actually, the more, I guess, within you understood that you started to feel unhappy, or things weren't right, or whatever it was. And then, you know, things start to happen. And what happens is, a lot of us, and I'm speaking even from my own experience here, but, you know, we go through that uncomfortable phase and we just ride it, and then we just get used to it, and we sit with it, and we stay there, and we continue on our journey like that. But actually, when that uncomfortable phase happens, it's telling you something. And that's the part where you go, right, I need to change, because that's where growth happens. We hear it, I know it's cliche, but growth happens, you know, when you basically are not comfortable anymore. The more you're comfortable, you're not going to push yourself. If you're comfortable with something and you're happy, why are you going to change it? You only change things when, so I think it's recognizing that. And then once you're open and you say, right, you know, I know we've all been there, where you've hit the last straw, and you go, right, this needs to happen now. And you start putting that out there, and it will happen. There'll be things that happen, that even if it's like you want to lose weight, all of a sudden there'll be a friend who says, oh, you know, there's this lady and she does it for free in a park, or, you know, blah blah blah, why don't you come with me, we'll go every Saturday, or let's go for a walk every morning, an hour. And you start going, it just happens. So I do agree with you. There's that, like you called it the law of attraction, or the universe, or whatever, but there's that vibe. It's that, what you said, Garma, when you put things out, you know.
And it's all our mindset at the end of the day. Like, we can choose to let something destroy us, or we can choose to let it help us grow. So absolutely. I had one very bad experience, because I'm not one to give up easily or to walk away from something very easily, but literally I was in the studio doing a live show, and the person in, like, basically when you're in a studio, you're in the studio by yourself, and there's just a camera in front of you, and there's a separate room which we call the MCR, that's like the main control room, or the media control room. And then from there, the person controls the show. So if there's anybody who calls in, then they'll transfer the call over to you. Or if it's time to go on break, they'll give you a countdown in your ear, and then they'll go on break. But basically, whilst you're in the studio, you have no control over anything. Like, all you can do is just talk to the camera, and you're live on air. And that the person who was meant to be in the MCR walked out of the live show. So I was just left talking to a camera, and thank God I knew the technical side of it, and I knew who to call. I had to call a different office. I had to message them whilst I was on live TV saying, please, because I'm thinking I'm speaking for 14 minutes now, like what's going on? Like, you know what? And the phone, I could hear the phone ringing and I couldn't see anybody. I thought, what's going on? So I literally had to message them and say, please, can you put me on break or put me off here because no one's here. And when I obviously complained to the head of the channel, he was like, oh no, that wouldn't have happened, or you must have said something. And I'm thinking, I was in a live show, what could I have said?
Yeah,
you know?
exactly.
And the front door was open, literally anybody could have walked in, anything could have happened. But I was just all alone in this big building, live on TV, and that was it. And I just thought, you know what, that's the last straw. And I thought, you give your blood, sweat and tears, and you give so much, and you think, I'm not doing it anymore, you know, and you just think, okay, this is
That's
it.
crazy.
That's the last straw. And then
Yeah.
that is it. Then, you know, you just move forward then. But I'm glad I did move forward, and I'm glad in a way that did happen, because then you know, you see people's best side and you see their worst side. And you see what people
absolutely.
are, and you think, you know what, I'll never do that to my staff. I'll never
This is
ever
what we were talking about.
With me, yeah. Never.
This is what we're saying about experience. You realize that this
Yeah.
is not something how you want to be with other people.
No.
Right. So I'm conscious of time, because it's like we've been talking for like over an hour. You did say you can talk, and I told you I can talk as well. So I knew this would happen, but it's been amazing. Like, honestly, you're very inspirational. And I hope, you know, even if someone is watching this is thinking, well, actually, I don't, you know, I'm not really interested in sort of getting my energy read, or I'm not interested in all of that side. Equally, I'm not really looking to promote on a channel or anything. But I just hope you've got something from it if you've been watching, you know. I hope you've got some inspiration or just food for thought around, you know, just experiences in general, opportunities, or people that you have around you, or anything that we've discussed today. I really hope you've gained something from that. And obviously, there is an opportunity here, a window of opportunity for anybody who wants to, like we said, you know, maybe do a show or be part of your amazing Kismat TV channel. Then yes, do reach out. And Arti, I'll probably be reaching out to you myself separately as well, just about some other things. But yes, it'll be amazing. So I've really, really had a ball chatting with you today. I've really enjoyed it and enjoyed hearing from you. I know Sarika is here with us. She's been watching in the background and listening. Thank you for supporting us with this session today.
Actually, I would like to have a quick word here. I mean, I was listening to the talk and it's so inspirational. I mean, I never realized that it has such great impact. And then only when you listen to such things, you realize, yes, you know, this is how it reacts and this is how it should be. But I think we need more information on that. We will definitely have another session on that as well.
Yeah.
Really good one. Thank you so much.
I agree. It'd be lovely to have a session just around the karma stuff, isn't it? The Kismat karma.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Very fascinating, you know.
Yeah, yes. I agree.
And I always appreciate, you know, SOULma, because it's how nicely she takes the session. I just love it. Really well hosted, SOULma. Really, really nice. Good.
Oh, thank you. You're such a lovely person. I'm like, you know, I feel blessed. I feel very lucky to have like lovely people around me. Honestly, like through Inspiring Indian Women, and I say this in all my sessions, but I mean it. And through Inspiring Indian Women, I've just met such lovely, lovely women, and I can't believe the power and strength and that us as women have. And yet, whether it's through society or life or whatever, we're here, and we should all be here. Like, women are amazing. I don't care what anyone says, you know. So I'm going on a bit feminist here, but you know, in all honesty, I just see that. I always see the best in people. And if I pick up on positive vibes and nice vibes, I know I'm in the right place. And I get that from Inspiring Indian Women, and especially from you and Rashmi Ji. Honestly, you guys are amazing. I always say it, but totally, totally amazing. So I know that Arti's really grateful for having this opportunity. I know that for a fact. I know that, you know, the dance company I'm with, and Kuddal, you know, she's been really grateful for the opportunity. Wow. I feel lucky to be able to host these sessions, you know. I really enjoyed them. So thank you.
Thank you.
Really well. Great session. And I would just like to say that tomorrow we have a session on sari draping. And I myself is looking forward because I'm really bad at it.
Oh my God,
So,
yes, definitely.
yes,
I
thank
want to
you
watch that
so
one.
much. Yes,
Yes,
yes, I
thank
would definitely.
Thank you,
Thank you
everyone.
so much for coming in. Thank you, Solma. Thank you.
thank you
Thank you,
everyone.
Aarti.
Thanks for
Bye-bye.
watching. Thank you everyone.
Yeah,
Bye.
bye-bye. Bye.
Thank
Bye.
you. Bye.